Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. And if you like the content but have not subscribed already, please kindly do so by hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Okay, so let's get into it. This video will be titled, or is titled, American Excuses Being Made for Andy Ruiz Jr. Not signing the rematch contract, or more appropriately, not signing for this bout agreement. The bout agreement for the rematch. That's the word. Well, we know that because Andy Ruiz has not confirmed that he is signed for the rematch. Now, what do we know? Well, purse bid demands. We know he's making purse bid demands before signing up on the rematch. He won't put his signature on the rematch bout agreement. We do know he's already signed. When he signed the contract for the first fight. He also, as a condition of that, signed a contract for the second fight. But before every fight, you have to sign what's called a bout agreement. A contract specific to that particular fight. It's called a bout agreement. And that's what Andy Ruiz is stalling on signing. He has not yet confirmed that he has signed the bout agreement. So there is speculation that he has not signed the bout agreement. He was very active on social media up until recent days. So the purse, his agreement for the rematch is $9 million. He got $5 million for the first fight. But when we take a look at his social media, this is Instagram, no mention of signing for the rematch. None whatsoever. Okay, so in this post, he states, while holding the scrotum bag of a bull, what all Mexicans have. Ha ha ha. But doesn't seem to have the balls to sign the specific bout agreement for the rematch, it appears. But okay, that's a little joke there. Let's get into some of the excuses. Let's pick 3 excuses being made on Andy Ruiz Jr.'s behalf by the American excuse makers. Not all Americans, but some. And this is what we are hearing. Excuse number 1. Saudi, hold on, let's change the visuals. Where are we? Let's change the visuals. Okay. So, excuse number 1. Saudi Arabia is a category level 2 security risk. Excuse number 2. He didn't know how much the rematch was going to make, so the contract he signed shouldn't count. They have to renegotiate so he gets a bigger slice of the pie. And we can see that Andy Ruiz does enjoy a good pie, don't we all? But some more than others. You see by the midriff. Doesn't stop him fighting good though. Okay, that's excuse number 2. He didn't know how much the rematch would make. So they're going to have to renegotiate the contract so he gets a bigger slice of the pie. Okay, that's excuse number 2. Excuse number 3, third and final. Ruiz is the champ, so he should get the most money. Those are 3 of the excuses that we're hearing. Okay, so let's have a look at some of those excuses. Let's debunk some of those. Okay, excuse number 1. Saudi Arabia is category 2, level 2 security risk. Okay, well, the debunking of that is Mexico where Ruiz said he wanted the fight in Mexico. Ruiz or Mexico is, guess what level security risk Mexico is? Yes, you guessed it. Mexico is categorized as a level 2 risk. Level 2 risk, the same as Saudi Arabia. Okay, excuse number 3. Or number 2 rather. Where is it? There it is. It is irrelevant, or the debunking of it. Yeah, excuse number 2. He didn't know how much the rematch was going to make, so he should renegotiate for a bigger slice of the pie. That's excuse number 2. And my debunking of that is, it is irrelevant how much the rematch may or may not make. That's the beauty of the flat fee. The guaranteed flat fee, that's the beauty of it. Whether the event makes or loses money, you get the guaranteed flat fee that you agreed to in the contract. Now, if you don't want a flat fee, you can always negotiate for a percentage. Now, not to say you're going to be successful in that negotiation. The promoter may just say, nah, you take the flat fee or you leave it. So negotiate a higher flat fee. And if the promoter does not agree and he stands firm, well, you have the option of walking away. So there were multiple options available to Ruiz in the negotiation stages. And remember, they were negotiating. They were negotiating. Andy, or rather, get my words all mixed up. Eddie Hearn said, we have found the guy we think is going to be the guy for the fight. But we're in the negotiation stages and the contract stages. You'll recall that before Andy Ruiz was announced as the replacement for Big Belly Miller. You will recall that. You will recall that. So there was a negotiation phase. And Andy Ruiz opted to sign for the flat fee of $9 million for the rematch. $5 million for the first match. Now I knew that all these figures would have been arranged and prearranged and signed for. I knew that from Jay Jimenez's interview over there on a large channel. Jay Jimenez, the trainer, manager of Luis Ortiz, laid it all out. He said we would have had to sign for the first fight and we were going to get $7 million for that, and we were going to get $10 million for the second fight. That was all prearranged. That would all be signed for. So we knew, I knew, that since Andy Ruiz had signed for $5 million, $2 million less, $2 million less than Ortiz, that the rematch fee would also be less than Ruiz, or rather Ortiz would have got. Ortiz was getting $10 million for the rematch. So I knew it would be less than that. It would be in the region of 8 to 10. And it turns out the figure turned out to be 9. Okay, so the second excuse is debunked. You had the negotiation phase and you agreed on a flat fee of $9 million. So the fact you didn't know how much the rematch would make is irrelevant. If it made less than expected, you wouldn't get less than the $9 million. If it makes more than expected, you're not going to get not more than the $9 million. Second excuse debunked. Okay, where are we? The third. Let's pick a pick. Okay, so the third excuse was Ruiz is the champ, so he should get the most money. Well, let's look at that. It's commonly held, my rebuttal, my response, my debunking, It's commonly held across the combat sports that you only truly become the champion once you have successfully defended your belt. If Ruiz successfully defends his newly acquired belt, or belts rather, plural, against Joshua, he will ascend to the A-side position, at which point he will be paid in accordance with how much his fights can generate. As a point of reference, Deontay Wilder, Ruiz's fellow PBC stablemate, got paid a reported $10 million in his last fight versus Dominic Brazil. Let's change the pick. Okay, this looks like a good one. Okay. Against Dominic Brazil, Ruiz may be able to generate more if he holds on to the belts, as he would be likely to receive more support from the Mexican-American boxing fans, who tend to be big supporters of their fighters. So, that's excuse 1, 2, and 3 debunked. Remember, excuse 3 was that the champ should make more money. I just told you that you truly become the champ once you've defended your belts. So, all Andy Ruiz has to do is defend his belts and he truly ascends to the rank of A-side. Okay? I'd hate to think that he's overspending already. I would hate to think that. Absolutely hate to think that. Here he is driving in his, what is this? Get that out of the way. Driving in his newly bought Rolls Royce. Is it a Rolls Royce or a Bentley? Driving into his newly bought compound, house. Some call it a mansion. I don't know. This is from his Instagram. Let's take a look. Yeah, nice grounds. New shrubbery. That looks like a nice garden area. Yeah, enough space to park multiple cars. Was that a triple garage? Little tree house for the kids. That looks nice. Little tree house for the kids. Yeah. Could do a little bit of watering, but other than that, good. Yeah, you would have to say that's a bit of a mansion. Well, is that all his? Yeah. Yes, is that a mansion? I don't know what you call that. That's a very large house. Damn, it might be a mansion. What the hell? What the hell? How much did that cost? Jeez. Yeah. That's more than a large house. That is more than a large house. Wow. You get lost in that place. Are they going to take us inside? How much of this is left? What is that, tennis courts? Oh, we're inside now. Yep, fireplace. Yep, damn. Kitchen. Damn. Is that a balcony I just saw? Nice double fridge, very important. Place to keep your Snickers cool. I wonder if you bought this cash. Don't make sense if you got more money. Pay half down or something. Okay.